Welcome back to Daytime, everyone. Is your family financially healthy? Do you live paycheck to paycheck? Are your car payments over $300 a month?
Well, and are you and your spouse constantly stressing about money? Well, today we're going to be joined by our financial physician, Louis Scatigna, and he is here to talk about how to diagnose if your family is ailing and what we can do about it. Everybody's having a rough time. But welcome to the show.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Good to have you here. Let's talk about some of the questions we can ask to find out if we're in trouble. One of your first questions is, do you and your spouse stress about money? I don't know too many people that don't stress about money, to tell you the truth.
The reason why they stress about money is that they don't communicate about money. You know, I say both you and your honey should manage the money together. And in most families, either the husband manages the money or the wife manages the money. And one's sabotaging the other.
Sure.
So what you need to do is be a team. And very few people do this, but you should sit down every month together, pay the bills together.
That's a good idea.
Go over every bill. Take the electric bill. Oh, it's $400. I think we need to get it down to $300.
Yeah.
We're both going to try, and now we both own this, and we both have accountability to each other. We're going to put that temperature down. We're going to turn off the lights, and when that bill comes next month, we're going to be excited about it. It's like a game. We're going to open it up and look at it and see if we achieved our goals.
And if you have children, you're going to make them participate as well.
Absolutely.
Turn off those lights.
Absolutely. We want to go over the credit card bills together. Do we really need to buy this, honey? Do we really need to buy that? Oh, look, our interest rates went up. Okay, and then make a pact to try to pay that down. Say, we're not going to go out to eat once a week, and we're going to use that money and we're going to pay down that balance.
You know when money's affecting your relationship that there's a problem and it has to be fixed.
It affects your physical health as well as your financial health, but also it affects marriages, and it's real important to be on the same page.
How does it, I guess just the stress itself affects the physical health, and that just, you know, bleeds over back and forth and it feeds itself.
Absolutely. It affects you psychologically, it affects you physically through stress, and again, it affects your relationships, mainly the relationship with your children and your wife.
You say, is there a significant balance on your credit cards, and do you only pay the minimum payment? A lot of people out there are going, yes, and they're saying that's the only way I can get by.
But, you know, credit cards, I call them cancer to the financial body. I mean, it's the worst thing. Credit cards are enablers. It enables us to spend money we don't have. Now, of course, in emergencies, we need credit cards, but the key is not to use credit cards to satisfy our desires. Our wants maybe, but not our desires. And many people use credit cards for those impulse purchases. And as we know, I mean, credit card interest rates are astronomical now.
Sure.
I mean, we have 0 interest rates in the bank, but they're charging us 25% on our credit cards. It's the worst debt we can have, so we have to pay those off.
You mentioned, we did in the beginning, that if your car payment's over $300 a month, there's something wrong there.
Yes. Many families have 2 brand new cars. They're paying $400 plus a month for them. So that's $800 a month. I mean, I used to be a mortgage not too long ago. I say in my book that you should never, ever in your entire lifetime buy a brand new car. It's the worst thing Americans do. 2 things, houses and cars. Too big a house, brand new cars every 3 or 4 years. The payments are astronomical. This is what you want to do. You want to buy a car that's about 2 or 3 years old coming off of lease. There's a lot of dealers out there that are selling them. The banks just want to dump these things. You could buy them below book value. They're still almost brand new. They got 25,000 miles on them. Your car payment's going to be about 60% of what a new car would be.
What about having savings? A lot of families are really just a couple of paychecks away, right, from not having a home and not having anything, right? I mean, how much should we have as a nest egg?
I say 6 months to a year living expenses. I mean, people here on the Gulf who have been affected by the oil spill, all of a sudden their income stopped, and they didn't have any savings. They're in desperate. Many Americans are desperate after just 2 or 3 weeks of losing their job. So we want to build up that little bit of emergency fund, so if things go wrong in life, we have some money to pay for it, whether it's the car breaking down. You know, life happens, all these things come about, but many Americans don't have any money to deal with it, so they go further in debt.
And finally, you want to stress that spouses should have a will and an estate plan and everything in place just in case something tragic happens.
If you don't have a will, it's a mess. Now, a lot of people are young and they say, look, I don't have any assets, I really don't need a will. Do you have a child? Well, if you and your wife die in a car crash or something, who's going to take care of your child? The will name a guardian for your kids. And many young people have no will. And if they don't have a will, now the courts get involved. It's a big, big mess.
Okay. We don't want that. Great advice, financial physician Louis Scatigna. Thank you very, very much.
Thanks for having me.
Yes.